So I've got Bree, I've got Brendan, I've got Denise, I've got Thea. Who else have I got in? Sarah's unavailable. Have I got Melanie? Have I got Melanie in? I can't quite see everybody on the screen. Have I got Melanie?
Yep, here.
Good. Anybody else? Anybody else here that whose name I've not mentioned?
Yeah.
No. Right. So let's start with Bree and Brett. So you're going to be in a pair. Okay, guys, mind your notes by the microphone if that's okay. So, right. The situation is this. Brendan, you work in a tourist information office, okay? And Bree is going to go in and she's going to, and Susan's joining us, and she's going to ask about some things that she can do in your area, which is where you live, you in England, okay? But we're going to assume that she speaks French only, all right? Do we understand the mission?
Yeah, I don't live in England, though.
Where do you live?
I live in France.
I'm ashamed. Do you really?
Well, not for very long. Only for a year.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Oh, my God. You've so dropped yourself in it telling me that. I didn't realise that. My God, man, you should be a sponge by now. A sponge. All right. Well, then you can use where you are in France then. That's even better. I had no idea. I shall come and visit you. Where are you in France?
The Dordogne. It's very British.
Oh, you've told me this, yes, because I told you it was 1 in fucking 10 is English. That's right. Lovely. Right then. Great. So, Bree, you've just arrived. You by yourself. All of this business. So that this works properly, I would like you both to say the sentence you're going to say first in English. So you'll say, hi, I've just arrived, whatever. So we know what it is you're trying to say. All right? Off you go. Bree, you start.
So in English first. Hi.
Not the whole thing. Not the whole thing. So you walk into a tourist information place. I'd like to think Brendan would say hello, but off you go. So say in English what you would say in equivalent situation in English first.
Hi. I just arrived in France and I need some information.
Good. Translate. Hi, I've just arrived in France and I need some information.
Bonjour, je viens d'arriver en France. J'ai besoin des informations.
Lovely. Try not to use j'ai besoin as much as il me faut for a thing or le doit for a verb. J'ai besoin is just a little bit more of a need. Yeah. So, bonjour, monsieur. Je viens d'arriver en France. We could possibly add for the first time, whatever, you know. Et j'ai besoin, il me faut quelques informations, quelques renseignements. Lovely. Good. Brendan, what would you say back in English?
I would say hello. Is this something you're looking for in particular?
That's what I was thinking, Brendan. Well done. Who knew you could be so outside of a French class? So off you go. So say for me, hello. Is there something you're looking for in particular?
Bonjour. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que tu cherches? Pardon. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que vous cherchez spécifiquement?
Nice go round, Brendan. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de particulier, quelque chose en particulier, ou quelque chose, ou est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que vous cherchez particulièrement? So, quelque chose de particulier, something particular, but you've got to be careful with particular because it can be like somebody who's particular, who's like bothered about doing things a certain way. So I would go, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de spécifique? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de spécifique que vous cherchez, not cherchez? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. Bree, what would you say back to that question? So is there anything you're looking for in particular?
I would say, yes, I'm looking for art museums.
Good. Up we go.
Oui, je cherche les musées d'art.
Good. Let's make it more polite. Thank you for asking me. Thank you for asking me.
Oui, merci. Merci.
Now, this comes back to merci de versus merci pour. The merci pour tends to be for a noun, and merci de tends to be for a verb. Remember, when we spoke about merci de going into the auxiliary would be thank you for doing something, and merci de going into the verb would be like a please. So merci d'arriver à 16h would be please arrive at 4 o'clock. Merci d'être arrivé à 16h would be thank you for coming at 4 o'clock. So how would you say thank you for having asked me the question?
Merci d'avoir me posé la question.
Pause. Let me hear merci. Where's the m gonna go?
Before the infinitive.
Well done, Brie. So thank you for asking me the question.
Merci d'avoir me posé.
Where's the m gonna go? Before the infinitive.
Merci de m'avoir posé la question.
Good. Good. That m feels really early on, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Merci d'avoir me posé. Merci de m'avoir posé la question. Because past participles sound like infinitives when they are ER verbs. Agreed, everybody? Yeah, so merci de m'avoir posé la question. Great. Good. So say for me, I'm interested in art museums. I'm interested in museums, art museums.
Je suis intéressé.
Firstly, well done for pronouncing the vowel correctly. I've got a very nice bit of hummus and a red pepper, and somebody pronounced interest properly. Life is good. So if you go to my channel, you type Logic Language Learning space and the word interest, there are different ways of doing this which come up. Option 1, I'm interested in, je suis intéressé par, whatever. Option 2, that interests me, ça m'intéresse. Je m'intéresse à, plus noun, so je m'intéresse au museums. J'ai un intérêt, I have an interest, but that's a little bit less common. Je trouve les musées d'art intéressants. Whatever. So there's multiple ways of doing it. I think the most common would be to say l'art or les beaux-arts m'intéressent, les musées m'intéressent, or je m'intéresse à, whatever the thing is. So say for me, I'm interested in art using either one of those methods. Intéresser can be a verb as well. So say for me, I'm interested in art.
Je m'intéresse au art.
À before, because it was joining to the plural of museums. But je m'intéresse à l'art, or l'art m'intéresse. Say for me, l'art m'intéresse.
L'art m'intéresse.
Do we all see what we've done there, guys? So the art interests me, or I interest myself to the art. Good. Great. Brendan, what would you say? What do you recommend?
I would say, well, if you're interested in art, there is a good museum in Bergerac.
Good. Up we go.
Bien, si tu... Oh, pardon. Bien. Si vous intéressez à l'art, il y a...
No. Nice accent. I'm going to do the je again, and you're going to reverse both. I'm going to say 2 different je methods, and you're going to reverse both. Okay. Je m'intéresse à l'art. Could you reverse that for vous?
Reverse as in l'art.
As in make it work. No, I take your point, but all right, say the sentence je m'intéresse à l'art with a vous. How would you say that? Vous.
Oui, vous vous intéressez.
There we go. L'art m'intéresse. Could you make that one work for me, please? No. Or you can reverse it. L'art m'intéresse. So what's that going to be?
Là vous intéressez.
In the sentence l'art m'intéresse, what's doing the verb?
The art.
Is that going to change if the art interests me or if the art interests you? Is it going to change?
The art isn't going to change, no.
No, it isn't. So the verb is still going to be intéresse, isn't it? So
Of course.
why have we got to be careful? When you use vous as the pronoun in the middle of a sentence, your mouth thinks it needs to say the verb to match the vous. Try this little bastard, all of you. Could you all say this? Could you say, nous vous aimons? We love you guys. Say, nous vous aimons. All of you say, nous vous aimons.
Nous vous aimons.
Nous aimons.
Vous nous aimez. You guys love us. Vous nous aimez.
Vous jamais.
Nous aimons.
Because nous and vous could be the word for the person doing the verb or could be the word for the person having the verb done to them. So your mouth always wants to make that match. Be careful. All right. Good. So si l'art vous intéresse, if art interests you, up you go. You're about to suggest the museum in Bergerac.
Bien, si l'art vous intéresse, il y a un bon musée à Bergerac.
Good. Brie, ask me some detailed information about this place and all of this business.
Is it far from here or close by?
Is it far from here or close by? Lovely. Off we go.
C'est loin d'ici? No. C'est loin
Yeah,
d'ici.
that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous.
Ooh.
Just notice that if you can get in an esque in your question work, it's a little bit more courteous at this stage. Est-ce que c'est loin d'ici? Est-ce que ça se trouve? Yeah, we use the reflexive se trouve. Where's the castle? Où se trouve le château? Notice the other little expression. Could you all just copy me? Pour aller à. Just say pour aller à.
Pour aller.
Yeah.
So in order to go to, so if you said, excuse me, sir, how do you get to the station? Bonjour, monsieur, pour aller à la gare. Yeah, that's like a nice, quick way of saying, how do I get to? Pour aller à la gare. Bonjour, monsieur, pour aller au musée, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so pour aller à plus place. So say to me, how do I...
Sorry.
Say, yeah, say to me, how do I get there?
Como
But that's not wrong. But what was the little expression I just gave you?
pour
Yeah.
aller.
Pour aller, and how would you say to the museum?
Pour aller au musée.
Well then, monsieur, pour aller au musée. Now, let's just play relative pronouns. To get to the museum, you've spoken of. To get to the museum, you've spoken of. Pour aller au musée, what needs to come next that you've spoken of?
Pour aller au musée. Que vous
Look at Lukey, look at Lukey. Parler de, are we in red, blue, or green? We're in a red. And when we reverse the red, dans, unless we're talking from. Watch the video that's just gone up. All right. So say me, monsieur, pour aller au musée dont vous avez parlé. Pour aller au musée dont vous avez parlé.
Monsieur, pour aller au musée dont vous parlez.
Vous avez parlé. Yes, good. Brendan, how do we get there from, let's say, think of a location that you think Brie would be in, like your town, and then you describe how you're going to get there. Off you go. So how's she going to get there?
It's not far. It takes 30 minutes by car.
Off you go. It's not far. It takes 30 minutes by car.
Ce n'est pas loin. Ça fait 30 minutes.
Two things have disgusted me today. One is that my 8-year-old decided to drink at a Super Bowl party, which is disgusting. Not because it's illegal, but because she knows better. She's been trained the European way and she knows to not mix the drinks. It is obviously terrible. It is really, really bad. And she's really, really ill and her mom has hit the roof. That's disgusted me. The second thing that has really annoyed me is that you lot won't stop confusing ça fait and il faut. What does il faut mean, Brendan, effectively? What does it literally mean?
It's necessary, or?
Great. And so when we're using it with a noun, what does it mean? If I said il faut un café or il me faut un café, what does it mean?
Il faut I need a coffee.
Lovely. So when you're talking about how long something takes to do, you're basically saying, you know, how many minutes do I need? Yeah. Il me faut plus the time. Il me faut combien de temps? Yeah. So il me faut combien de temps? So say to me, how long does it take to get there? Il faut combien de temps pour y aller? Off you go.
Il faut, sorry, how long does it take to get? Il faut combien de temps d'y aller?
Pour y aller. Lovely.
Pour
Now,
y aller.
it takes 13 minutes by car to go there.
Il vous faut 30 minutes.
Well done, you've made a boo in there. That's good job, you. Well done, il vous faut, carry on.
Il vous faut 30 minutes par voiture.
Lovely, en voiture.
En voiture.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. Good. Why is this not working? This is really worrying. Alors, il vous faut 30 minutes en voiture. Good. Lovely. Let's move down. Let's go to Denise and Melanie. Denise, you are living in France with in a lesbian ménage à trois. And you've found the new you, you've left your husband behind, and you've discovered yourself in France. It's been fabulous. And Melanie has just moved into the village where she's going to spend 6 months learning the language. And you are going to tell her about your decision to leave your marriage and come and live in France and learn the language. So any question she asks about that, you're going to talk about.
Okay.
Lovely. So, and you can go where you want with this. You've just decided to come and live in France, whatever you go. So let's just say that you're at a language meetup in the town, whatever, off you go. So let's start with Denise. So you see that Melanie's new, whatever. You know, hi, who are you? Whatever, all of this business. And you're just going to have a conversation. Basically, you moved to France, you know, ménage à trois or otherwise. You've just decided it was something that you wanted to do and whatever. And Melanie's just really interested. And, you know, she's going to tell us her reasons. And we don't know as to why she's come to France. I should suspect knowing Melanie, it's because she's on the run from the law. So off you go. So Denise, in English, please, can you tell us how you'd introduce yourself to Melanie? Now, this is a little bit more friendly. This is like a cheese and wine thing. Do you know what I mean? But I've been to these where you have to walk around going, French, and make sure people stay in the French. Okay. So off you go. English first. Tell me the sentence in the English that you're going to say.
Okay. Hi, Melanie.
How do you know her name's Melanie?
Oh, that's right.
LogicLanguageLearning was organising this would be stickers, but there might not be stickers. So off you go. What you know. Hi, you look bored, or you all right, or whatever. Off you go. Introduce yourself.
Hi. It looks like it's your first time here at this meeting. No?
Look at her. Look at her. She's already on the prowl, Brendan. You can see. She's already on the prowl. Off you go. So lovely. Off you go, Denise. Lovely. So say to me, it looks like it's your first meeting. Good. Yes.
Bonjour. Il paraît que c'est...
Il paraît. So guys, are we all familiar with that verb? Paraître. Not to be confused with apparaître, which is to appear. Yeah? So if you meant it as in it appears, it's your first meeting, yes, then it does mean appear. But apparaître is like bing, physically appear, and paraître is seem, like sembler. Lovely choice of verb, Denise. Off you go. So it seems it's your first meeting.
Bonjour, il paraît que c'est votre premier rendez-vous ici.
Premier rendez-vous aux premières réunions. Let me add a little phrase which is more likely to happen between Brits or Americans speaking French at an earlier stage. Say for me, on peut se tutoyer? C'est on peut se tutoyer?
Oui, on peut se tutoyer?
No, you are a beautiful woman, but because you are a couple of years older than Melanie, it would be for you in France to take the lead on who tutoies whom. All right?
Okay.
On peut se tutoyer. Just relax, because obviously Brits and Americans and Australians and everybody Canadians, you're all much more comfortable using tu than vous anyway. So we on peut tutoyer. Lovely. So now ask the question again. It seems it's your first meeting. Now you're going to use tu. It seems it's your first meeting.
Il paraît que c'est toi premier.
I don't care what you say now. I'm just happy that you've been holding the vowel on. I'm massively happy you've been holding the vowel on. Yeah. Oh, notice another little expression that we'd say. On dirait. Oh, we would say. Oh, on dirait que c'est ton premier. On dirait que c'est ton premier rendez-vous. On dirait que c'est ta première réunion. On dirait que c'est ta première réunion. N'est-ce pas? Just say that for me. On dirait que c'est ta première. Sorry, you don't normally have poivron rouge in the mouth. On dirait que c'est ta première réunion, n'est-ce pas?
On disait que c'est...
Yeah, what we're saying, guys, one would say, on dirait, on dirait.
Okay.
Yeah?
On dirait que c'est ta première réunion ici.
Yeah, n'est-ce pas, n'est-ce pas?
N'est-ce pas?
Okay, good. Notice the facility of n'est-ce pas, people. One of the things that characteristically second language English people do in London, and particularly even if they're British and they're from an Asian background, British Asian meaning being different to US Asian, not meaning from Asia. That's the word we will often use if somebody's from India, Pakistan, culturally. They're British, but we will often say that. And almost as a little self-aware joke, they'll often say in it, isn't it? So instead of saying, she's pregnant, isn't she? A lot of young Londoners, particularly if they've got this Northwest sort of Harrow sort of Asian voice, will go, oh, she's pregnant, isn't it? In it. Or your mum works in the supermarket, in it, rather than your mum works in the supermarket, doesn't she? Or your dad, your mum's the headmistress of the school, isn't she? Or your mum was the headmistress of the school, wasn't she? So this inversion that we commonly use in English, we don't use that in French. We can't. But we can use n'est-ce pas. So his wife lives in Los Angeles, doesn't she? Alors sa femme, elle habite à Los Angeles, n'est-ce pas? Or sa femme, elle habite à Los Angeles, non? Yeah. So it can be comfortable with that. It's your first meeting, isn't it? Alors c'est ta première réunion, n'est-ce pas? Or c'est ta première réunion, non? All right. I quite like it. It's just one of those things you have to make sure people don't do. It's charming, but you have to make sure that they're using the proper English in English. But it's fine. It's fine in French, n'est-ce pas? Great. Melanie, what's your response?
Would I start also asking to tutoyer?
No, because she said on peut se tutoyer. So she wasn't asking, she was saying, she goes, on peut se tutoyer. So she was saying, like, don't worry, we can use tu. Okay. I suppose you could have said, oh, yes, thank you. I find that easy then. So if you wanted to comment on that, what would you say?
Yes, thank you for tutoying.
Yeah, lovely. All right, then, lovely. You know, okay. Off you go. So you say, yes, thank you for tutoying me.
Oui, merci pour me tutoyer.
What did Luke say we use with merci more commonly with a verb? The de and either the infinitive or the auxiliary infinitive. Oh, merci de me tutoyer would kind of mean like, please, thank you for, please tutoyer me. Merci de m'avoir tutoyé. Yeah, or merci de m'avoir tutoyé. Or just merci. Oh, je te remercie. Don't forget, guys, we have a verb, remercier. So you just say for me, Melanie, teeth together, je te remercie.
Je te remercie.
That's cool. Don't forget, you go to a store, you buy something at the checkout, where you pay. You don't always have to say merci beaucoup. You can say merci bien, Madame, je vous remercie. Don't lose je vous remercie. Okay? Good. Lovely. Then what would you say? So she's asked it about whether it's your first meeting. What would you say? In English, what would Melanie say? Be Melanie. What would you say? How can you tell? Or is it that obvious? Or yes, I've just got here? Or what would you say is Melanie?
Yeah, I'm new here. Is it obvious?
Good. So I'm new here. Is it obvious?
Je suis nouvelle ici. C'est évident.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well done, Melanie. We don't say obvious or anything like that. So oui, je viens juste d'arriver. I've literally just arrived. C'est évident. Copy me, Melanie. Ça se voit.
Ça se voit.
That sees itself. Yeah, you can tell. The lady over there, how do you know? That's the guy over there isn't feeling very well. How do you know? You can tell. Ça se voit. Yeah, ça se voit. Yeah, you can see. Ça se voit. Lovely. All right. Good. Denise, what would you say if she said, "Oh, can you tell?" How would you say? What would you say? How would you explain so that you can tell?
No, not really, but it looks like your friend, maybe your husband, is new here.
She's after red blood, Brendan. My God. Let's go with, I've never seen you here before, and I know everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is basically, I ain't seen your keys in the bowl before, my darling. Yeah. So basically, honest to God, Brendan, do you know what I mean? So, so say for me, I know most people in the group. It's a nice group, and I've never seen you before. Yeah. Go with that.
Je connais la plupart des gens qui sont ici, mais je n'ai jamais vu.
Pronouns. Where's the pronoun going to go?
Oui,
I've never seen. Auntie Denise, say me, I have seen. Say me, I have seen. Just plain and simple, I have seen.
J'ai vu.
J'ai vu. Now say, I have never seen.
Je n'ai jamais vu.
Don't worry about the no. J'ai jamais vu. Now say, I've never seen you.
Je veux. I know it's feeling weird.
Je t'ai jamais vu.
Oui, je t'ai jamais vu ici devant et.
Go again, make it comfortable. Je t'ai jamais vu ici.
Je n'ai jamais. Je ne.
t'ai jamais vu. Je t'ai jamais vu.
Je t'ai jamais vu ici.
Good. You'll notice I try and give you a little bit of authentic French for every time. It's not what you guys have said isn't authentic. I just try and give you something a little bit more authentic. C'est la toute première fois que je te vois. C'est la toute première fois que je te vois. It's the very first time I'm seeing you. C'est la toute première fois que je te vois.
C'est la toute première fois que
je te vois. And if you really want to make it French, you say ben non. Ben non, which is like a bit of expression. Ben non, c'est la toute première fois que je te vois.
C'est la première fois que je te vois.
It's spelled B-E-N. Ben non, it's a thinking thing. Ben non, c'est la toute première fois que je te vois. Come.
Ben non, c'est la toute première fois que je la vois.
Je te vois.
Je te vois.
Go again, this is sounding very nice, Denise. I want to hear this tone of voice in Besançon in a few months. Ben non, c'est la toute première fois que je te vois. Sing, my angel of music.
Ben non, c'est la toute première fois que je la vois.
Je te vois.
Je te vois.
She's a person. I know she's entering your harem and she'll just be a number, but she's a person. Good. Lovely. Melanie, she's just said she's just seen you. So perhaps tell her in English why you've come to France and why you decided to come to the meeting.
I've decided to come to the meeting because I wanted to check out the bar.
Good answer. So say to me, I don't give a fuck about learning French. I just thought it was a cool bar.
Je m'en fiche.
This is Auntie Luki. I don't give a fuck. Je m'en fous du bar. I figure je m'en fous du bar.
Je m'en fous du bar.
No, sorry. I apologize. Je me fous du bar. Le bar, je m'en fous du bar. Sorry, je m'en fous is such a bigger concept linguistically than je me fous, but it's je me fous du bar. The on is the bar there. As Edith Piaf sings in Non, rien de rien, non, je regarde rien, no, 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 no. She sings Je me fous du passé. I don't give a crap about the past. So say for me, je me fous du bar.
Je me fous du bar.
Non, je me fous, je me fous. Fous is the passé simple of be. Je me fous du bar.
Je me fous du bar.
Lovely, okay. Sorry, I apologize. I don't give a crap about French. Alors, je me fous du français. I don't care about the French. Je me fous du français.
Je me fous du français.
Now, say me, improving my French, I don't care. Améliorer mon français, je m'en fous.
Améliorer de mon français.
It's okay. Improving my French, I don't care. Améliorer mon français, je m'en fous.
Améliorer mon français, je m'en fous.
Good. How do you guys check it's in? Get it all on the same chest. Is it all on the same chest? Teeth together, same chest. Améliorer mon français, je m'en fous.
Améliorer mon français, je m'en fous.
Lovely. That's in, isn't it, if it's on the chest? Good. So I just wanted to come to the bar. Good. Denise, talk. Oh, sorry. And what did you say? And so I just wanted to come to the bar. What else are you going to say, Melanie?
Non, je voulais vérifier du bar, le bar.
Je voulais basically oh my god, I went to go to the Spanish like it's because Sarah's turned up and I'm thinking about telling her off using Spanish. Jeter un coup d'œil, throw a knock of the eye at. Yeah, je voulais jeter un coup d'œil. I wanted to have a look. So, jeter un coup d'œil.
Jeter un coup d'œil.
Listen to Auntie Lukey. Jeter, not jeter. There's no verb jeter. Jeter. Je jette in the short form, but the verb is jeter. Je voulais jeter un coup d'œil. Go.
Jeter un coup d'œil.
Jeter
un coup d'œil. Jeter un coup d'œil.
Yeah, good. Lovely. Good. Denise, what's the bar? Tell her why she should like the bar. Tell her about whatever. What would you say to that? She said, I don't really care about the French, but I just wanted to check out the bar. Tell her, what is the bar a big thing in your life? Do you go there apart from the meetings? Are there other cooler places you would recommend in the village? Does she maybe want to come around yours, wearing something sinful after 11 p.m.? What would you say to her at this point? You're all up for Besançon now, aren't you? Brendan's just wired me 400 quid in advance. Off you go. So,
this bar is great, but I think I have a better selection at my house.
Oh, Denise, you do make me happy. So off you go. So this bar is great, but I have a better selection at my house. Okay.
Ce bar est formidable, mais je crois que...
Lovely, but I've got a better selection at my house.
Mais la sélection chez moi est mieux qu'ici.
Et meilleur, because it's obviously bon, meilleur. Do we remember our friends mieux, le mieux? All this business, bon, meilleur. Check out better and best on the video, guys. It will remind you whether it's mieux or meilleur. Good. I'm now going to go Sarah and Susan, and I shall do one with Thea. Lucky Thea. So basically, Sarah and Susan. So your scenario is Sarah, you've lost your daughter. We know damn well she's safe. She just can't stand you. And you're at Euro Disney, and she's run off in a huff because she said she can't get a tattoo of Harry Styles on her back. And basically, you just suspect that she's done a runner. You know she's safe. She's got a mobile phone on. She's getting messages, but you're just telling park security if you could help, basically find her. You could describe her, whatever. And Susan is somebody who's works and parent liaison at Euro Disney. You're a little bit upset, and she's going to basically calm you down. So this is the situation here. So off you go. So remember, you're going to say the English first. So you can say what you want, Sarah. It could be that little bitch. She always does this, or I'm so worried, whatever you want to say. So give me the English first, Sarah, for your first thing you'd say to Susan.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've lost my daughter. She just ran off.
Good, that'll do for now. That'll do for now. That'll do for now. And then you can do, and then translate and then say the next bit in English. So, excuse me, ma'am, I've just lost my daughter. She's just run away.
Excusez-moi, madame, je viens de perdre ma fille.
Nice vowels, sounding nice, sounding good. Lovely. She's just run off, or she's just gone off.
Il vient de s'aller.
Pause. S'en aller. We can't use go reflexively. We need to use en in it. Elle vient de s'en aller. Copy me. Elle vient de partir.
Elle vient de partir.
Elle vient de se casser.
Elle vient de se casser.
Elle vient de foutre le camp. She's just fucked up. Elle vient de foutre le camp.
Elle vient de foutre le camp.
She's just run away. Elle vient de partir en courant. Leave in running. Elle vient de partir en courant.
Elle vient de partir en courant.
Good. Lovely. Then what help are you asking for? Tell Auntie Susan what help you want.
Let's see.
Are you saying, do you want to break open a bottle of red with me because I've never had so much peace and quiet since the beginning of the holiday? Or are you asking for some assistance in getting the ungrateful teenage wretch back? What do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to get some help getting her back. I mean,
lovely, lovely, lovely. So could you, madam, could you possibly help me on a security level? Because I suppose I should find her. Say that for me. Could you help me on a security level? I suppose I should find her.
Madame, est-ce que vous pourriez m'aider?
Link. I've warned you about linking. What happens with Mayday?
M'aider.
Thank you. Now, what preposition comes after that? Est-ce que vous pourriez m'aider?
Ah.
Thank you. Yes. Est-ce que vous pourriez m'aider à find her?
À la trouver.
Good. Susan, someone's just come up to you and said they've lost their daughter. Can you help me find her? What do you think the first question is that you'd ask?
Do you know possibly where she went?
Good. Or basically, assess the level of risk and concern. I'd ask how old she is. Do you know what I mean? Or something, you know, are we talking about like a teenager? Or are we talking about a little kid? You know, so say for me, how old's your daughter? And do you know which direction she went in, or do you know where she's gone? All right. So how would you say that?
Quel âge?
Of course. What would you possibly do in a customer service role first to reassure? So how would you say, don't worry, madam?
N'inquiète pas, madame.
Pause. Firstly, the twist in my gut that you guys all say in every time you read, watch the reading rules videos. Lukey has told you. How do we say the word wine, Auntie Susan?
Vin.
Thank you. Therefore, the verb is inquiète. Yes? What two things do a command start with? Either ne or the verb word. Yeah? But how do you say I'm worried? Just as a sentence, how do you say I'm worried?
J'enquête.
Je m'inquiète.
Je m'inquiète.
So there are two ways of saying I'm worried, people. I am... Right, let me explain very quickly why this is a problem. When you have an adjective which ends in ed, you guys all assume that, which isn't stupid, that the adjective is the past participle of the verb. Because most of the time in English and in French, if the adjective looks like the past of a verb, it's because it's from it. So, for example, you know, I am annoyed, énervé, fâché, because somebody has, quelqu'un m'a énervé. And the ed in English suggests that worried comes from the verb to worry. So we all look at the verb worry, inquiéter, and we say, I am worried, je suis inquiété. Do you see the train of thought so far? Only that isn't what we do, because in French it's the other way around. The adjective gave us the verb. Inquiet, meaning in quiet, gave us inquiète, feminine, and that gave us inquiété. So if you say I am worried, you don't say inquiété, you say je suis inquiet, or for a lady, je suis inquiète, and or I'm worrying myself, je m'inquiète. So just say that for me, Susan. Just say I'm worried. Say it for a lady, say I'm worried, je suis inquiète.
Je suis inquiète.
Nice pronunciation. The verb for a woman would sound the same. Je m'inquiète. Say for me, je m'inquiète.
Je m'inquiète.
So although by definition you could say don't be worried, sois pas inquiète, most of the time when you tell someone to not worry, you are going to use the verb. What form of a verb, Auntie Susan, is je m'inquiète? What form of a verb is it?
Reflexive.
So when you give a command, you need to pop the pronouns in. So say, don't worry yourself, and you're speaking to a vous. So ne vous.
Ne vous inquiétez pas.
That's better. All right. That said, that expression, don't worry, has an absolute plethora, as my friend Phil says, his favorite word. God love him. Has an absolute plethora of easier possibilities. T'inquiète pas. You know, but that is one of the only times that will happen. All right. So don't worry, madame. Stephanie, I'm sure we're going to find her.
Je suis certain.
Nice. You can use certain if you're going to be a lady, but certaine, yeah, that we're going to find.
Je suis certaine
Not sir.
certaine que vous.
We are going to find her. We are going to find her.
Nous lui trouvons.
Pause. All of you keep doing this. We are going to find. Just say we are going to find.
Nous allons chercher.
We are going to find.
Nous allons trouver.
No. Is there an infinitive in we are going to find?
Yes.
Therefore, where is the her going to go? We're going to find her.
Oh, before trouver.
That's it?
Nous allons lui trouver.
Pause. Why lui?
Oh.
It's a green one, isn't it? It's direct. Nous allons la trouver. I forget nous allons la trouver.
Nous allons la trouver.
Good. Ask me how old she is.
Quel âge a-t-elle?
Lovely. Or we could have just said elle a quel âge.
Quel âge?
Okay. Or you could have just said how fucking stroppy and arsey is she? And then the answer to that would have told you her age. Oh, she's a spoiled teenager. That's fine. That's fine. She's had her life. Let her run. You come and have a drink. That's what you say. Good. Right. Then, I would possibly say, if somebody's said that and you've got a security issue, what do you need to see? What do you need to see, Susan? Or what do you need to circulate? What do you need to distribute and circulate if someone's looking for a lost child? What do you need?
Oh, lost and found. Lost
No,
child.
but do we do descriptions nowadays, or would we just say, have you got a photograph of your daughter? Do you see what I mean? In other words, we don't go, oh, describe her. Oh, you know, pretty, you know, coffee complexion, curly hair. Well, she did have curly hair, although as Sarah will tell you, she's ruined it with a straightening. But the fact is, you wouldn't do that nowadays, would you? Just, oh, do you have a photograph of your daughter? Yes, so that it can be circulated around. You know, that shit happens that damn fast in these places. So could you please say for me, do you have a recent photograph of your daughter?
Avez-vous en photo récente
Good.
de,
Aunt of your daughter.
de votre fille?
Good. Sarah, answer the question. How old is your daughter? Sarah, your microphone is
Sorry.
blocked.
Sorry.
Tell me the answer in English. Give me the answer in English. Give me the answer in English first. So.
She's 11 years old.
Good. So you brought her to Europe to find a potential husband then? Really? That's fine. So lovely. So off you go. So say for she should be in work straight away. So say for me, she's 11 years old.
Elle a 11 ans.
Elle a 11 what? Vowel murderer?
Elle a 11 ans.
That was even worse.
Elle a
What is
11
the Elle a 11 what?
Elle a 11 ans.
That's the same thing again. Can you not hear you saying the same vowel again? What's the pronunciation for year?
An.
That's the same vowel again. I've got all night.
An.
That's the same vowel again. That means donkey now.
On.
Thank you. Thank you. Elle a 11 ans. We don't say an, it doesn't exist. Well, it means donkey. Elle a 11 ans, or if we're talking about specific years, cette année, l'année dernière. Yeah, so say for me, elle a 11 ans.
Elle a 11 ans.
Nicely slid. That was nice sliding. All right. Good. And say, yes, if you could give me a moment, I have a photograph that I took 5 minutes ago. Say yes, if you could give me a moment, I have a photograph that I took 5 minutes ago.
Oui, si vous pourriez me donner une minute.
Lovely. A moment, lovely. I will give you a photograph. I will send you. Now, let's just imagine that the woman said, you know, this is the park email address, whatever. I will send you. How would you say? I will send you a photograph that I took 5 minutes ago.
Je vous envoyerai
No. Now, you think that it would be, but it actually is a little sneaky. Je vous enverrai. Yeah, je vous enverrai. Yeah, je vous enverrai. All right. Yeah, it works. If you think to see, voir, je vois, tu vois, il voit, nous voyons, vous voyez, il voit. So je vous enverrai, because the future voir is obviously je verrai, tu verras, il verra. Yes, even though it's an ER verb, it actually changes in the future. So I will send. Oh, I know what we'll do. I will send you the one that I took 5 minutes ago. Talking about a feminine photograph. I will send you the one that I took 5 minutes ago.
Je vous enverrai.
Yes, the one.
Que celui.
Stand still. Fucking hell, I'm so fucking over this. 4, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. Is that A, my measurement in inches when I was dancing? Not far off, unfortunately. B, is it how we organise our C words? I can think of a C word right now, oddly enough. The 4 C words, the demonstrative adjectives that go with named nouns. This house, this situation, this boy, whatever. Ce garçon, cette femme, ces enfants, ces cousins, whatever. Then there's the 3 concept words of ça, ceci, and cela, which are genderless. Then if you are referring to a specific known thing that has a gender, but it isn't with the noun present, you have to use the final 4. What is the masculine singular word in this final section?
Celui.
What is the feminine singular word in this final selection?
Cela.
I'm going to batter you. We've done it loads. I just told you ceci, ça, and ça, ceci, and cela go in the middle group. What are the what is it? celui, what's the feminine one? We have done this in your private lesson, madam. Where did you get celui from? This
Celle,
hip.
celle,
Thank you.
celle.
Not fucking cela. All of you confuse. Good. I'm not going to be allowed to monetize this video because you bitches have made me swear so much. So I'm just going to have a good old swear. Fuck, fuckity fuck. You piss me off. Good. No money from this one. You can all pay me more fucking on coffee. So I can't monetize it. But the fact is, stop confusing celui, celle with the middle three of ça, ceci, and cela. Let me show you why. You can add a la or a ci on the end of those last four. Celui-ci, celui-là, this masculine one here, this masculine one there, celle-ci, celle-là, this feminine one here, this feminine one there. Doesn't matter whether it's a human being or not. It doesn't make it ceci or cela. They are simpler concepts, all right? So the one that I took, how to say the one that I took?
Celle que j'ai pris.
It's feminine photograph, so celle que j'ai prise.
Celle que j'ai prise.
That's right, 5 minutes ago.
Il y a 5 minutes.
I have told you before, all of you, what four numbers do we not pronounce in the way that you think they should be pronounced? 5, 6, 8, and 10. You do not pronounce those words in full if the next word starts with a consonant. Say to me 5 people.
5 personnes.
That's it, 5 personnes, not 5 personnes. Say to me 6 people.
6 personnes.
8 people.
8 personnes.
10 people.
10 personnes.
Great. Some parts of France do the same with 20 and 20. Yeah, they'll say 20 or 23 or 20 personnes, but I would only say 20 as 20 anyway. But some people say 20, all right? Good. Lovely. Moving on. Here. You strongly suspect that a member of the group in Besançon has been stealing in the flat. Thea, there's quite a loud background noise. Just say something for me.
I hear
That's
you.
right. That's fine. That's fine. It's just sometimes with you, it does that. Like, do you remember in The Mermaid, the Splash with Daryl Hannah when she goes la, 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 and she speaks, and it sometimes does that thing. Good. So you strongly suspect that somebody in the flat has been stealing because various items have been going missing from at first the fridge, and you just thought, oh, that was just Brendan with his compulsive comfort eating, or Susan after all her marijuana smoking. You get it, the munches. But it's just everybody started to notice bits of clothing and different things going missing, and you're not sure what's going on. And I wouldn't be living with you. Oh my God, I wouldn't lower myself to that when we're in Besançon. So I've come to collect you in the morning to go off on our pursuits, and you're going to tell me all about it. So I'm going to start the conversation. You're going to give me your what you're going to say in English, and then you're going to say in French. Hi Thea, did you sleep well? Salut Thea, tu as bien dormi?
Yes, thank you for asking. But I have a little worry.
Good. Translate.
Merci. Oui, j'ai bien dormi, mais...
No, be lazy. Thank you for asking.
Merci de m'avoir demandé.
De m'avoir posé les questions. Yeah, oh, merci de m'avoir demandé. Lovely. But I have a little worry. Off you go.
Je m'inquiète un peu.
Good. Next in English. Oh, no, sorry, I'd say, what's the matter? Is it Brendan? C'est quoi le problème? C'est Brendan?
No, Brendan is great.
Oh, Thea, there's no reason for that level of fucking make-believe. Goodness gracious me. I mean, there's role play and there's role play. Save me, no, Brendan is great.
Non, Brandon is magnifique.
Magnifique. Brandon, il est magnifique, il est super sympa, il est adorable. Yes, yes, yes. Brendan didn't sleep here last night, but I can't tell you about that, Thea. Brendan, il n'a pas dormi chez vous hier soir, mais je ne peux pas vous en parler. So tell me about your little worry. Alors, raconte-moi, quels sont tes soucis? What are your worries? Quels sont tes problèmes? What's happened? Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Is the apartment not comfortable? L'appartement n'est pas confortable?
The apartment is really good, but we noticed with the girls that some of our clothes have been gone missing.
Marvelous. Isn't she a good actress, Tia? This is good to know. This is good to know. This is one of the things you need on the Besançon trip, because I send you all into shops left, right, and center, and you have to just act and pretend you don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, I've just arrived, or you know, we have to be careful though, because I know certain shops and certain shop assistants, so they'll be like, oh, he's here again. Some of them play along and they totally know what I'm doing. Totally know what I'm doing. Other ones, I sent this one beautiful boy called Robbie, who I teach privately, and I sent him into the language center to inquire about 6 months worth of lessons, and he couldn't get out. The woman was like helping him so badly, so I had to literally come in and say, look, I'm really sorry, this is a role play, we've got to go by. And I just dragged him. Good. So translate for me then, Tia. So say for me, no, Luke, the apartment's fine, but some of the girls, we've noticed that we're missing certain objects. Off you go.
Non, Luc, l'appartement est génial, mais moi et les filles, nous avons remarqué que
il nous manque, that we're missing, qu'il nous
manque. Il nous manque.
Save me certain things.
Certaines choses.
Well corrected. Certaines choses, or quelques objets, or certains objets. What kind of things are you on about? Like clothes, or money, or food? Oh no, right, I'll go a different way. Oh, that'll just be Brendan. No, that'll just be Susan. When she's been smoking weed, she eats everything in the fridge. Ne t'inquiète pas, Tia. Ça, c'est juste Suzanne. Après avoir fumé du shit, elle mange n'importe quoi. Elle mange tout ce qui reste au frigo. Did you mean food? Tu parlais de la bouffe?
Non, Luc. Ça concerne de notre vêtement.
Just give me the English first. Now, let's be very clear, guys. Why am I giving you the English first? It's not because I don't think you can go into French first. It's so that you set yourself a nice high bar of, you know, authentic you. So what would you say? What would you say? No, Luke, just to be you and just tell me in English what you'd say.
No. It's not the food. We noticed that some of our clothes are missing.
Good. Oh, you are a good little actress, Tia. This is good to know. So say for me, no, Luke, it's got nothing to do with the food. Let's just knock it up a level. It's got nothing to do with the food.
Non, Luc, ça n'a rien à faire avec la nourriture.
Good choice of ça. Ça n'a rien à voir. Yeah? Ça n'a rien à voir avec. So if you said, Luke, I've got nothing to do, what are we going to do? J'ai rien à faire. If you mean thematically, something is linked to another thing, that is voir. Ça n'a rien à voir. Has it got something to do with what happened in England? Est-ce que ça a quelque chose à voir avec? Non, rien à voir. Although foutre is the stronger and slangier version of faire, weirdly, even though the expression here is very much voir and not faire, if you wanted to make it's got nothing to do with even stronger, you could say ça n'a rien à foutre. It's got nothing to fucking do with it, all right? Good. So say for me, no, Luke, it's got nothing to do with food, and then tell me what it is. Ça n'a rien à voir avec, you know?
Non, Luc, ça n'a rien à voir avec la nourriture. Ça concerne notre vêtements.
Yeah, ça concerne nos vêtements. Ça concerne nos vêtements. I keep telling Brendan he's an autumn, not a summer. Your clothes would not suit him. Je continue à dire à Brandon que tu as lui, c'est un automne et pas un printemps. Tes vêtements ne lui iraient pas. Is it everybody or just you? What kind of clothes are you missing? Ça concerne tout le monde ou juste toi? Il vous manque, il te manque quoi comme vêtements? Qu'est-ce qu'il vous manque comme vêtements? What are you lacking as clothes? Now, welcome to vocab round, and I'm your host, Luke. So don't think about what you're going to say. Actually, let's just have a vocab round, see how much you can do, Thea, with some vocab. How would you say shirts?
Blouson, t-shirt.
Blouson or chemise. Yeah. How would you say underwear?
J'ai oublié.
So if you were saying like sleep generally, like you know whatever, but just they sleep, or caleçon, or whatever, but basically just sleep, just sous-vêt, like underwear, sous-vêtements, yeah, as opposed to survêtements, which is kind of tracksuits and hoodies and over stuff, yeah. So say for me, sous-vêtements.
Sous-vêtements.
Lovely. If you said a bra specifically, any idea what a bra would be?
No.
A soutif, which is slang French for soutien-gorge, supports the throat and chest. Soutif. Yeah, soutif. But it's soutien-gorge is the proper word. What could we say? Socks?
Chaussettes.
Yeah, des chaussettes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. Can I ask you when this started? Je peux te demander quand est-ce que tout ça a commencé? It's since when? C'est depuis quand?
We noticed it only yesterday.
Good. Off you go.
Nous l'avons remarqué.
Nous l'avons remarqué. Nous l'avons remarqué. Yeah. Nous l'avons remarqué.
Nous l'avons remarqué hier soir.
Good. Or on la. So we've got the verbs. Go and have a look up. So do you know I was talking to you earlier about paraître and apparaître? And here's another verb that would be very similar that we could use right now. Disparaître. What does disparaître mean?
Disappear.
Lovely. So the past tense would be paru, apparu, disparu. Yeah. So go and have a look at percevoir or apercevoir or s'apercevoir. Go and look at these perceive verbs. So we've noticed it. Okay. On a remarqué. Or on s'en est rendu compte. We realized it. Yeah. On s'en est rendu compte. Yesterday. Yeah. Good. Is there do you have any idea who it is, Thea? Est-ce que vous avez, all of you, est-ce que vous avez aucune idée? Mais vous n'avez aucune idée de qui c'est? Do you suspect somebody? Est-ce que vous soupçonnez quelqu'un?
Not really. Not really. Not really. Everybody is so great. We've got no hint.
Oh, wow. I bet I know. So off you go. So say for me, everybody's so great. There's no hint. We've got no hint.
Tout le monde est tellement sympa. Je n'ai pas aucune idée.
On n'a aucune indication. On n'a aucune idée. On n'a aucune indication. Just say for me, aucune indication.
Aucune indication.
Good. Translate this last sentence for me. And I'm not even joking. This is completely true. If this role play had taken place in Besançon, then I would have known the person. To take place is avoir lieu. If this role play had taken place in Besançon, I would have known the person.
Si c'est jeu de rôle, si ce jeu de rôle avait lieu,
listen. That's it. Well corrected, because if it is the past hypothetical, we have an auxiliary, which means you're welcome to use have. But you then need, what comes after an auxiliary, Tia? A past participle. On this occasion, if the verb in question is avoir lieu, then you are welcome to use avait, but that would be your auxiliary, and you still need the past participle of avoir, as you've just worked out. So si ce jeu de rôle avait eu lieu, as you just said, say it again for me.
Si ce jeu de lieu avait eu
Ce jeu de rôle, ce jeu de rôle, ce jeu de rôle.
Jeu de rôle, si ce jeu de rôle avait eu lieu à Besançon,
I would have known who it is.
J'aurais su qui c'était.
Good. Or qui sait. Lovely.
Qui
Let's
sait.
go round one by one. Brie, I'm not joking. I would know who. I'm not joking. I know the answer. I'm not joking. I know the answer.
Je suis pas faire une blague.
Will you all stop doing this? Brie, would you please say for me, I eat?
Je mange.
Would you please say for me, I am eating?
Je mange.
Well done. We don't have a continuous tense in French. So I am joking. There's no in it. There's no am in it. What's the verb to joke?
Blague.
You can say blague with plaisanter or rigoler, which is also to laugh. Je rigole. I'm laughing. I'm joking around. Chillax. Je rigole. Yeah. Lovely. Say for me, je plaisante pas. Say for me, je rigole pas. Je plaisante pas.
Je rigole pas.
Yeah, or je plaisante pas. Okay. Good. If it had happened, what's the verb to happen?
C'est passé.
Great. If it. No, let's say if the situation had happened like that. If the situation had happened like that.
Si la situation s'était passée comme ça.
Getting you. Well done. Okay. I would have been able to identify the person.
J'aurais.
Yes, been able to. J'aurais
pu identifier la personne.
Identifier la personne.
La personne.
Good. Sarah. In Besançon, we have to leave. I always use the one apartment. Last time I got a different apartment as well. I always get one and another one, but I always get the same one, the main one. Right by the river, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So Sarah, say for me, we need to leave the door open because there is a cat on the ground floor. We need to, who's always in the fucking flat. So we need to leave the cat open. No, we need to leave the door open because not the door to the apartment, but the door to the entrance to the we need to leave the door open. We need to leave the door open.
Nous devons lasser.
Not lasser, not lasser. That's laces. Don't kill vowel. What's the verb to leave?
Lasser.
Laisser, not lasser. We go. We need to leave the door open.
Nous devons lasser.
No, I've just told you the vowel. Stop killing it.
Lasser.
I've just told it to you. You're saying the same thing again.
Lasser.
That's it. I don't mind people forgetting to a degree. What I don't like is when people just keep saying the same vowel and not aware that they're saying the same thing that they've just said. That shows me that someone's not listening to vowels. Go again. We need to leave the door open. Door is feminine.
Nous devons lasser.
No. What's the verb to leave?
Lasser.
That's the same vowel you've just said again.
Laisser.
Everybody watching this who thinks I'm a kind and patient person, can you comment underneath or send me coffee on coffee? Up you go. Laisser. Go again. This is why everybody that watches goes, he's so mean when they watch the class. And then they watch it in full and they watch from the beginning. And I get about 3 emails a week from people going, oh my God, but you had done that with them. I've now watched the series and you had done that with them a lot. And I go, yes, I simply deleted your original criticism, but thank you for giving me that. I get about 3 messages a week from people who, having watched the video, watch from the beginning, and then go, oh shit, yeah, he so told them. Right, so what is the verb to leave?
Laisser.
Thank you. Good. In short, there's a Ginger Tom cat that's 2 doors down, and we need au rez-de-chaussée, and we need to like they get, oh, the cat might come in, so the cat would have been the one that would have been pinching the clothes. Good, relax, well done. The first time we went to Besançon, this is so stupid. Alors la première fois qu'on est allé à Besançon, putain, qu'est-ce qu'ils étaient cons. So I'm talking about some really lovely people who, you know, own property and aren't stupid. Alors je parle des gens qui ont, voilà, ils ont leur propre baraque, leur propre maison, ils sont pas cons. So the one property that we largely did like a boys and a girls situation the first year. Alors largement tu vois, c'était des mecs et des nanas. And the girls' flat was like a houseman style flat. Do you know what that means in France? Vous savez ce que ça veut dire? So houseman was like a guy who redesigned Paris. He's why he put all the bones in the catacombs, which is why you have like the sort of cemeteries underground in Paris. Particularly at Denver Rochereau. Alors c'est lui qui a tout organisé les cimetières à Paris. C'est pour ça que vous avez les catacombes à Denver Rochereau, le 14e arrondissement. And basically, he's the guy that designed all these big boulevards, which is why even in Paris there is even a boulevard Haussmann, which is where we've got you know, department stores and stuff. So that means kind of like a Belle Epoque style flat building, you know, whatever. And so they all have like a main front door off the street, and then you go in, and then there's like a courtyard or like different entrance ways and different stairwells and all of this kind of stuff. Alors il y a une entrée principale, tu as des cours, des colimaçons, des escaliers, les marches, etc. So this flat was next to a really main street. Alors it was on a really main street. Alors c'était une rue principale, just opposite a pharmacist and a café. Alors juste en face d'une pharmacie et un café. And the front door, there's some kids that lived upstairs. There's probably about 40 dwellings in this gorgeous building. Alors il y avait environ 40 appartes dans ce bâtiment, cet immeuble. And the kids that lived upstairs, because their parents were away for summer, en fait, les gamins qui étaient à l'étage, parce que leurs parents, ils étaient absents pour l'été, they were leaving like a can of Coke or something to leave the front door open so that their friends could come in for all these parties. Donc, effectivement, ils laissent une canette de coca pour que la porte soit ouverte, pour que leurs amis puissent entrer pour voilà, faire la fête, quoi. So, I was on the train home with the people that were coming back. Alors, j'avais pris le train avec des gens qui allaient rentrer avec moi. And I said, did you leave the key in the apartment? Because I thought I could trust them to do this. Je dis, vous avez quand même laissé la clé à l'appart. Thinking they were going to say, yes, we closed the door behind us, the key's on the coffee table, whatever. Pensant qu'ils allaient dire, oui, on a laissé la clé sur la table, on a bien fermé la porte. To lock the door would be to fermer la porte à clé. Fermer à clé. And they go, yeah, it's in the door. 2 people over 60 said this. Gabby, Nick, Nina. And I said 3. And I said, what do you mean it's in the door? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire? Elle est dans la porte. Thinking, oh, well, if your key's in the door. I said, but if the key's in the door, when the woman goes to put her key in, the owner, it'll be problematic. J'ai dit, mais si vous avez laissé la clé dans la porte, quand elle essaie effectivement de pénétrer la porte avec sa propre clé, elle va pas pouvoir le faire. And they went, no. Don't worry, it's on the outside of the door. And I went, are you trying to fucking tell me you have left a key in a central 40-flat apartment building with the key facing the stairwell where a load of teenagers are coming up and down, and you've left the key in the door on the outside? Do you know what I'm saying? J'ai dit, est-ce que vous voulez dire en toute sincérité que vous avez laissé la clé effectivement dans la porte comme ça, qui donne directement vers l'escalier, où il y a pas mal de petits jeunes qui montent et qui descendent à 3h du mat? I was just, oh my God, how can you be so fucking stupid? Alors moi, j'étais bordel, mais comment vous êtes aussi con, quoi? And the guy that did it and the woman that did it, she's a landlady. She's got lots of property. He owns a hotel, you know, whatever, in France. I'm like, oh my God, how can you be so stupid? Luckily, she's okay. But the landlady in question had COVID. Heureusement, alors, la femme en question, elle avait chopé la COVID. So one of the ladies that had gone had decided to stay in Besançon for another 10 weeks after the trip. Because a lot of people do that. And this year we had Brenda who stayed for 8 weeks before the trip. Donc une des femmes avait décidé de rester à Besançon pour 8 semaines après le séjour linguistique. Et cette année, on a eu quelqu'un qui a fait 8 semaines avant le séjour linguistique. That's Brenda. You might have seen the interview with lovely Brenda. Have you seen that interview where Brenda talks about staying in France? It's one of the... Brenda's cool, lovely, from Chicago, curly hair, coffee skin. She's my queen, Brenda. We love Brenda. C'est ma reine. So yeah, I was just like, what the actual fuck? So this is why when people are focusing on language, they can't even wipe their arse across the road. Quand les gens se concentrent, ils arrivent même pas à s'essuyer le cul ni traverser la rue, quoi. You just have to completely go, hold hands, Susan, stop, Brendan, is Bree with us? And I literally give people somebody to look after. I'll be like, Bree, you keep an eye on Brendan. Brendan, you keep an eye on Susan. Susan, you keep an eye on Tia. Tia, you keep an eye on... Do you know, it's the only way you can do it. Like, seriously. And then they get really cussy and pissy and think I'm being really condescending. And then people do shit like that. Oh, my God. Lovely. The only reason I let Elizabeth on her own this year is because she's like a freaking former surgeon doctor who's got the mind of like a NASA computer. I trust her. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. Good. Lovely. But it is good. It is good fun, Besançon. And I hope some of you get to come this year. You'd really, it's, oh my God, the transformations that take place are phenomenal. Good. So I think we'll do exactly the same thing next time. We'll change partners and we'll just do, we'll have more fun, as happens in Denise's role play in France. Good. Was that useful? Was that a bit more organic and real for you? Yes. Yeah. No. Good. Lovely. Not now. Not next week. We'll be doing more of this next week. The week after that, if you will have a bit of homework next week of stuff to get ready, which is basically telling the group, starting to tell the group about yourself. So as in if you were hypothetically in a bar in France on a language trip, in a whatever cell with somebody else who's been, you know, arrested for soliciting, Denise, whatever's gone on, you know, you can just tell someone about yourself. Okay, so if you just get those mini narratives in your mind ready, you start thinking about how you described what you're doing, where you are in life, why you're there, whatever's going on, what your hobbies are, all that kind of stuff. Just to really clean up that. Because it's amazing how much French you actually get to use, which is the same story again and again and again, really. In fact, one of the main complaints from people that do les échanges linguistiques is that they're like, I just have the same conversation again and again. They just do a language exchange and it's just with different people and it'll just all be like, they're like, I'm bilingual when I talk about why I want to learn French. That's what my mate Al says. He's like, Luke, I'm bilingual when I want to talk about learning French. Or I'm bilingual when I talk about why we live where I live and why I had kids. But if somebody says to me, what's going on with this missing girl, or what's going on with this, or what's the rent charges in your building like compared to other parts of Paris, they're just, obviously they're lost. So you have to be very careful if you do any language exchanges. And I thoroughly urge you to do language exchanges. Like, go on my channel, type language exchange, Logic Language Learning space language exchange. There's all loads of videos on how to do this, how to use conversationexchange.com, all of this kind of stuff. I give a massive guide on how to do it and how to change the topic, but don't like, just, do you know what I mean? Brendan, I'm sure living in France, you've had the same conversation 25 times now. Do you know what I mean? About why you're there, why the police are always following you, you know, why your other half insists that you walk 2 meters behind him because, you know, he's ashamed of you. You know, I mean, the same narrative. Good. All right. Well done. Well done. Well done. Those of you that watched that enjoyed, there's a coffee link, or there will be a coffee link underneath when it goes up. I very much appreciate the donation. This runs on coffee. Those of you that are taking part in the class, can we on the same day? I don't really appreciate this. Like, oh, I'll do this. I'll do this. Can we just get into the room? Everybody just pays on the same day and settles it. Yeah. Good. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. I will speak to you guys soon. Well done. Good job.
Thank you.